Hey, you guys, it's December 2nd, Sunday. I am super glad to be back. I haven't done one of these in a while. We're going to do the daily wisdom shot, even though it's the evening. Briefly, before I do that, I just want to take a moment to mention that you can make registrations for healing sessions or readings on my website, and you can also get gift certificates there for the holidays. I want to make special note that I will be raising my rates after January 1st. So if you would like to purchase at the current rate, you need to do that before January 1st. And I just ask that they're scheduled before the end of February. You should be able to schedule that far out on the scheduler. Okay. I'll be making a post on social media about that and sending out an email via my mailing list soon. But I just wanted to mention that. Sorry about that. I am better. You'll remember I was sick for 2 weeks. However, I have a lingering cough, which is super annoying. So I don't know, maybe there's some throat chakra healing that needs to happen there. I pulled your cards for today, and I have to tell you, it really looks like there is some dealing with some energetic upsets that you guys need to start doing, that you're not necessarily doing it right now. You may be doing some of it, but you're missing some of it too. And it's actually causing things to slow down for you. It's actually causing you to be holding on to blockages that you could have let go of a long time ago. And you know what that means is, because you're a mirror with your divine complement, you're actually slowing them down too. So I have the Knight of Cups with the Five of Swords here. And to me, that's your need to really send the love out to those upsets, those battles within your own energy, because those are the blockages that need to be removed for you. And we've talked before about sending the love energy there so that you can reintegrate that piece of yourself into the whole, so that you're taking the shadow aspects of yourself and reintegrating that with the rest of yourself. That makes it so that it's no longer like trying to rear its head, because it's getting the attention, it's getting the love, it's getting noticed and accepted. And it's really all about acceptance through unconditional love of self. And that makes all the difference. That makes all of these like triggers kind of fade into the background. And that is really the key to overcoming the difficulty of the kind of relationships that we're talking about here. If that doesn't make sense to you, if you're not involved in sort of the divine complement type relationship or journey, then I feel that the same message applies, that there's an amount of unconditional love of self, which is really necessary right now to smooth, calm, and integrate the places in your life where you are feeling, where you're providing judgment upon yourself based upon an ego expectation. It's an expectation that is not necessarily based in truth or what your true desire is. It's about an expectation that was laid by either parents or family programming or societal programming or something like that. And so it is causing an imbalance, an upset. And so the way to do this is to bring your own love to it and to allow it to feel that love and acceptance, and then be released in that way. The second column here is the Four of Pentacles with the Devil. And again, I feel like this is like the holding on to these blockages or these karmic bits of baggage that we're meant to release in order to continue to ascend or continue into a higher and higher timeline, continue to move forward. Everybody is working through karma, whether it be positive or negative, and almost, most people have negative karma that they are still trying to resolve. this is really just us holding tightly to old patterns and outmoded ways of thinking and doing things because we're afraid of what that might look like if we don't have that as part of our identity. We are afraid of what that might be like if we don't have that to rely upon, or if our life has changed. We feel it's possible that we feel unsupported in a new way of living, or a new way of thinking, or a new way of life. And so we hold on to the old, even though we know it's not good for us. So here we are holding on to this devil energy while at the same time wanting divine compliments to get out of karmic relationships or karmic situations or whatever. So it just goes to show you how this situation is mirrored in both compliments. Like, you're working through these negative energies, these lower blockages, etc., is going to assist them in moving forward as well. So the third column is the Eight of Wands with the Three of Pentacles. And to me, this is just like confirming what I've just said. It's saying your movement forward will make this like this quantum leap, and you will, you'll move forward into a much higher timeline as long as you're doing the work, as long as you're making the effort and doing the work in the right way. You can't half-ass this. Like, you can't fake this. You have to do the work, and doing the work involves and is based in unconditional love of self. There is really no way around that. Like, this is not going to happen for you unless you can bring that unconditional love to yourself first. And then it can be, once you know what that's really like, once you know the depth of that within yourself, then it can be shared with others. And as you do that, again, anyone who's mirroring you, whether it be a divine compliment or other individuals in your life, because everyone in your life is going to mirror you in some way, you can begin to truly share that unconditional love with them. And isn't that the key to living this heart-centered life, this heart-centered fifth dimensional kind of existence that we're all being asked to live at this time? And even just like the general population who maybe wouldn't have known what we were talking about in months past is now beginning to grasp this. And I know that because of the kind of clients that are coming in my door now are completely different people. So I find this all very interesting and exciting, but all of us who have been doing this for a long time need to be reminded of the nitty gritty of like the meat and potatoes of how this works. And we can't forget that. I know it's easy to get caught up in like all the readings on YouTube, mine included, and, talking about crazy ascension stuff and all the channelings and the light languages, and all that stuff is great. But the bottom common denominator is you absolutely must turn on and integrate the unconditional love of self within yourself. There is no way around doing that. And it looks to me through these cards that there's been a little bit of that missing as of late. So this is just a gentle reminder to go back to doing that. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups, and I feel like that is the cup that the divine is offering you always. And it's like we're not even seeing it right now. It's like we're looking sideways at the shinier objects, the other things that look more interesting, like some crazy channeling that somebody made telling us some kind of interesting thing about how special we all are, which, hey, I like to listen to those things too. They're very, it's very intriguing, and it's, broadens your horizon, and there's a time and a place for all of that stuff. But please do not forget that the cup that the divine offers you is full of the unconditional love, which is really the only completely 100% essential ingredient to this whole process. Okay. I hope I didn't trigger anybody or aggravate anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to see you all succeed and set you up for success by reminding you of where this begins. I pulled 2 oracle cards from it's a new deck I got, and I can't remember what it's called right now. I think it's called like Shine Your Light. The first card is called Trust the Niggle. It says, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Which is perfect for this, because how do you know what needs your unconditional love? How do you know what is the issue that's going on, causing the upset for you, that is showing you the blockage that you have? You know it because of how you feel. What's that nagging feeling? And can you feel it in your body? Because that's how I identify mine usually, just because I'm an energy worker, and I've worked with other healers who have taught this as well. Is like, where is it in your body? Is it in your heart, or is it in your gut? Where are you feeling this? Is it in your throat? That gives you an indication to what it is, but the reality is you don't really need to know what it is. I would get myself caught up in wanting to really analyze and know exactly what it was, because that's what I do. That's my area of expertise. But there's no real need to do that. Just acknowledge that it's there, find it, and then send your unconditional love into that place until it feels better. It's really that simple. That is called, most of you probably know, but if you don't, that is called the mirror exercise. And I believe it is Twin Flames Universe, Jeff and Shalia, who have taught that. And then they've taught that to some of their other, I guess, counselors that they work with, who also teach that. And then I have learned it from them as well. So that is not my process, but it's one that I use, and it's extremely effective and simple. So I hope that you will employ that for yourself. The second card that I pulled is called Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? And for me, this is almost the same thing. It's like, what is a mother? Like, what is the quintessential mother energy, that divine feminine mothering energy? That's that unconditional love, that nurturing empress energy. And how can you do that for yourself? Well, it is providing that love to yourself. It's almost the same idea. And you have to remember, even if you're not feeling that upset, even if you're not feeling that nagging feeling that something is off, you still need to be providing that love to yourself. That's what's propelling you forward. That's what's providing the healing. That's what's moving you in the right direction. All the other stuff is like icing or gravy, as they say. But that's the meat and potatoes of this entire process. I really do feel like some of you are making these really, just looking at the Star Mother here, I feel like you guys are reaching these new heights in your vibrational resonance. And this is just a reminder that, no matter where you get to, there's still more work to be done, right? There's always greater ascension or greater enlightenment to be gathered. And like doing this and continuing to go throughout your day-to-day life while still doing this is really the key to making this work, and making this work in your life, not just for your divine complement relationship or any kind of relationship at all, but in everything, in opening up your abundance, in just making ordinary things fall into place for you, things that seem like synchronicity. When those fall into place, when you're doing this work 24, like not really 24/7, but when it comes up in your body and when it comes up in your consciousness and your awareness, just doing it and allowing it to happen and allowing it to take you into the higher dimensions, just by virtue of being part of it, by sending that or conducting that unconditional love, is going to bring you to that vibration of unconditional love, which is well into the 500s and 600s. If you're familiar with the Hawkins scale, the roadmap to consciousness. So this is something you can do no matter what you're doing, whether you're in a meeting or driving your car. You don't have to be in yoga or in deep in meditation to be doing this. And I think that that's like the newest lesson for all of us, or a very important lesson at least, is that this is life. This is day-to-day life. This is not something special. This is something we can do at all times in order to continue our spiritual journey in all dimensions, including the 3D. Does that make sense? I hope that this is helpful for some of you, and I would love it if you would leave me some comments and let me know. You can certainly subscribe, and please hit the bell so you get a notification when I upload a new video. And don't forget to check out my website, www.redhoundreiki.com, and you can schedule a session or a reading there. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.